A K-9 unit was brought in for a routine check at a nursing home. But when the dog stopped at a sealed-off hallway, started clawing at the wall, and refused to stop barking, the nurses screamed. Minutes later, a hidden door was discovered, and behind it was something no one had seen in over 10 years. What the dog uncovered stunned the nation. It was supposed to be a peaceful day, a routine K-9 visit arranged to lift residents' spirits and demonstrate safety protocols. Officer Daniel strolled beside his trusted partner, Titan, a sharp-eyed German shepherd with years of service behind him. Laughter echoed down the hallways as nurses led curious residents to the recreation room. Titan moved calmly at first, sniffing hands and accepting pats. But as they neared the east wing, a hallway long and used, Titan suddenly stopped. His ears twitched. He growled. Daniels tugged gently at the leash, confused. "What is it, boy?" Titan's body stiffened. With a sudden jolt, he broke into a sprint, claws screeching across the tile as he bolted down the deserted corridor. Nurses gasped. One elderly woman dropped her cup. Titan skidded to a halt outside a door with no label, barking furiously. Whatever was behind it didn't belong in this place. Titan scratched violently at the door, his barks echoing through the silent hallway. Deep growls rumbled from his chest as he clawed at the frame with relentless urgency. Officer Daniels rushed up behind him, startled by the dog's behavior. "Easy, Titan. What's going on?" A nurse caught up, out of breath and pale. "That door has been sealed for years," she stammered. "It used to be an old supply room. No one goes in there anymore." Daniels frowned. "Then why is it locked with a deadbolt from the outside?" The nurse paused, clearly nervous. "It's probably just, safety measures. Old homes like this. Things get left behind." But Titan wasn't buying it. His entire body trembled with tension. His nose pressed against the crack in the door as if he smelled something no human could detect. One of the residents whispered, "That room, it gives me bad dreams." Daniel stepped back, unclipped Titan's lead, and reached for his radio. "Dispatch, we need backup. Something's not right here." Minutes later, backup arrived, 2 more officers and a maintenance worker with bolt cutters in hand. The hallway had grown tense. Nurses exchanged worried glances as residents were ushered away quietly. Titan remained fixated on the door, pacing, growling low under his breath. With a sharp snap, the deadbolt gave way. Daniels pushed the door open slowly. A thick cloud of dust billowed out, stinging their eyes and filling the air with a musty metallic odor. The light switch flickered but didn't work, so they switched to flashlights. Inside, the room looked like a frozen time capsule. Stacks of rusted wheelchairs, broken crutches, and cracked bedpans littered the space. But in the corner, something else, a large tarp smeared with what looked like dried stains lay folded neatly. Next to it, a small bundle wrapped in plastic, half buried under debris. Daniel stepped closer, heart pounding. Titan let out a sharp, short bark. "What the hell is this place?" one officer whispered. No one had an answer. As officers cleared debris, Titan kept circling the back wall, sniffing, whining, scratching, his claws tapping against a section of paneling that sounded different. Hollow. Daniels ran his hand along it and noticed a thin seam, almost invisible. "There's something behind this," he said. With a crowbar, they pried it open. Behind the wall was a narrow passage leading to another room. No windows. No vents. Soundproofed. Flashlight beams danced across the walls, illuminating shelves covered in dust, and something worse. A row of old, faded children's toys, dolls, stuffed animals, plastic figurines, lined one corner. But it was the restraints bolted to a child-sized bed frame in the center that made everyone stop breathing. Beside it, a stack of worn VHS tapes, handwritten labels with names and dates. Some over a decade old. Titan growled deep in his throat. Daniels turned pale. This wasn't a supply closet, he said grimly. This was a prison. No one spoke. The silence screamed louder than any siren. The entire nursing home was locked down within the hour. Yellow police tape sealed off the east wing as forensic teams arrived. News of the secret room spread like wildfire. Reporters gathered outside, but the staff remained quiet, tight-lipped, shaken, and scared. Daniels questioned a retired nurse named Helen, now in her late 70s. When she saw the photos of the room, her face went ghostly pale. Her hands trembled. I told them, she whispered. Years ago, I told them something was wrong. What do you mean? Daniels pressed gently. That room was off limits, she muttered. No one was allowed inside. We were told it was used for isolation back when the rules were different. Who gave the orders? Helen looked up, eyes full of guilt. The old administrator, Mr. Callahan. He ran everything. But he disappeared right before the place was sold. Titan lay at her feet, ears low, tail still. Even he sensed the weight of her confession. Whatever happened here, it had been buried on purpose. By the next morning, black SUVs rolled into the parking lot. The FBI had taken over. Special Agent Rivera, a veteran known for uncovering institutional crimes, stepped through the caution tape with cold precision. Walk me through it, she said. Daniels explained Titan's behavior, the discovery of the first room, and the hidden chamber beyond the wall. Rivera listened carefully, absorbing every detail. Inside, agents photographed the restraints, collected the tapes, and dusted for prints. Then, one opened a file cabinet in the corner, packed with manila folders, patient records. Some names matched current residents. Others did not. One stood out, a list of first names, all children, with dates and a column labeled status. Most were marked with one chilling word, discharged. Rivera's jaw tightened. These aren't discharge records. These are cover-ups. Outside, Titan stood at the glass door, watching. He knew more would be found. Within hours, disturbing patterns emerged. Names from the nursing home files matched a string of missing persons reports filed between 2009 and 2014. Most were marked closed due to errors or relocation, but none had follow-up documentation. One case stood out, a 6-year-old girl, temporarily placed at Ridgeway after a family tragedy. Her case went cold. No next of kin. No body ever found. What 6-year-old gets placed in a nursing home? Rivera asked, voice tight. Daniel shook his head. It was buried in red tape. Someone knew exactly how to hide it. More files emerged, complaints, strange noises, bruises, children seen at odd hours. All dismissed. It wasn't incompetence. It was intentional. The home hadn't just failed people, it had hidden them. And now, thanks to Titan, every buried lie was crawling back into the light. Forensic teams dug deeper. Beneath the floorboards, they uncovered small, delicate bones wrapped in tattered fabric. An old bracelet still clung to one wrist, engraved with a name, Leah. DNA confirmed the remains were Leah Thompson, a girl reported missing 12 years ago. Her file had been marked relocated. Rivera's face darkened. They never planned to relocate her. Her parents, still living in another state, were contacted. The call broke them. For over a decade, they believed strangers had taken her, never knowing she was hidden in a place meant to protect the vulnerable. Daniel sat quietly as Titan rested beside him, head on his paws. The truth had been silenced for years, but now it was broken. One girl's name, finally spoken aloud, reopened the doors of justice. The arrest came at dawn. Harold Callahan, the former administrator, was found at a lakeside cabin 2 states away. He'd changed his name, grown a beard, and vanished after selling Ridgeway Hills. But the files, the DNA, and survivor testimonies tied him directly to the hidden room. When agents burst in, he didn't resist, just sat in silence, as if waiting for this day. Back at Ridgeway, more residents came forward. Some elderly, some barely able to speak, all remembering shadows, whispers, screams they were told to forget. A former nurse admitted she was threatened into silence. "We were told it was therapy," she wept. "But I knew it wasn't." Media swarmed the site. The public demanded answers. Lawsuits were filed. Politicians called for investigations into elder care institutions nationwide. But amid the chaos, one truth stood tall: without Titan, it might have stayed hidden forever. His instincts had pierced through years of lies. And now, the world could no longer look away. A month later, the town held a quiet ceremony outside the shuttered Ridgeway Hills nursing home. Families of victims, law enforcement, and townspeople gathered, not just to mourn what had been hidden, but to honor what had been revealed. At the center stood Titan, coat brushed, eyes alert. A small girl, no older than 6, stepped forward clutching a velvet box. She was Leia's niece, born after her disappearance. She opened the box and gently placed a medal around Titan's neck, etched in gold, for uncovering the truth. Titan didn't bark or wag. He simply stood tall, as if understanding the weight of the moment. Officer Daniels knelt beside him, whispering, "You didn't just find a room. You gave voices back to the forgotten." Agent Rivera added softly, "We've reopened 7 cold cases because of this dog." The crowd applauded, many wiping away tears.